revision. You just do the hard question from the textbook. Okay, so we're going to briefly revise how to find sides using trigonometry, how to find angles using trigonometry. So we'll start with the basic idea that you learned from year 9, which is SOHCAHTOA. What does that mean? You have to label the 3 sides of a right angle triangle. This is the hypotenuse. This is the adjacent. The side opposite to the angle is called the opposite. So label all 3 sides. Okay, so hypotenuse. Okay, so the shorthand for hypotenuse is H, shorthand for adjacent is A, and the shorthand for O opposite is O. So now what you could do, you can use the SOHCAHTOA to find the 3 trigonometric ratios. So for sine, SOH means opposite over hypotenuse, so write opposite over hype. This is SOH. And the next one, CAH, means adjacent over hypotenuse. And finally, TOA means opposite over adjacent. Okay, done. Any questions? So we're going to use these ratios to find the missing sides. But before we do that, we need to briefly revise what angles. 1 degree is 60 minutes, and 1 minute is 60 seconds. Okay? And the symbol for degrees are the little circle. Minutes is 1 apostrophe. Seconds is double apostrophe. And to enter this on a calculator, you just do on a calculator, you press 24 degree. This is the button you press. 21 minutes, 54 seconds. Okay? Now, if you're going to enter 50 minutes, you have to press 0 degrees, 50 minutes, and no seconds like that. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to do some questions. 21 minutes. Okay, alright, let's look at solving for an unknown in the denominator, in the numerator. So what you do is, we first label the sides as adjacent and hypotenuse. A and H is cos, SOHCAHTOA. So we use cos 51 is adjacent over hypotenuse. Oops, hypotenuse is 38. So you write down the equation. That's your first step. And then to solve this equation, you multiply both sides by 38. That will cancel the 38 there. So therefore, you find the value of x. X is 38 cos 51, which you have to use your calculator. Double check that there's a letter D on the top. That is in the degree mode. If not, then it will give you the wrong answer. So write down 38 cos, you don't need the time symbol. 51, you don't need the degree, just write 38 cos 51 equal, gives you 23.91, correct to 2 decimal places. Any questions? So it's very easy to do. Alright, there's a few more you have to do, so try the next few. Alright, go up the page. So this one will be opposite, because opposite to the angle. This is adjacent, because next to the angle. O and A is tan, so write tan of the angle equals to opposite over adjacent. Okay? And to find the numerator, you just have to multiply the sine 0.6 by the tan ratio. That will give you the answer, which will get something 0.6 times by tan 59 equal, you get big number. Okay, not very big, 0.998, so 2 decimal places will be 1.00. 1.00. Alright, any questions? So it's pretty easy, meters. And what's the other one? See, meters too? Meters. Okay, so now we know how to find missing sides given an acute angle and a side in a right angle triangle. We can also find the unknown in the denominator, which is the hypotenuse. So how do we do this? We do the same thing, opposite and hypotenuse. So we do sine 41 equal to 3.8 over x. Now this time, the x is in the denominator. So what do you do if it's in the denominator? You have to do one extra step. So the first step is to multiply both sides by x. That will cancel the x first. So you end up with x sine 41 equal to 3.8. And then to find x, you have to divide by sine 41 on both sides. So 3.8 over sine 41. So this is what you do when you have an x in the denominator. Okay, so you have to do one extra step, and then on your calculator you have to type in 3.8 divided by sine 41, like that. Okay, 5.79 correct to 5.79 correct to two decimal places. Now what if you do the fraction key? You can do it like this, 3.8, and there you go, sine 41, but it may give you an error. The reason why is you have to close the bracket when you write it as a denominator, whereas when you divide, you don't need to close the bracket. See the difference? Okay, so this one you have to close, this one you don't have to close when it's divide. Okay. Alright, let's try the next one. The next one is you do the same thing, opposite and adjacent. So you do tan 62 degrees 41 minutes equal to opposite over adjacent. And to find b, because it's in the denominator, you have to multiply both sides by b. Cancel, cancel. So b tan 62 degrees 41 equals to 21.4. And to find b, you have to divide. So you go b equal to 21.4 divided by tan 62 degrees 41 minutes equals to, okay, so we'll just type this in, 21.4 divided by tan 62 degrees 41 minutes, like that. And then you press equal, get 11.05. 11.05. So it's very easy how we find both the numerator and the denominator in a right angle triangle. We'll now have to do angles. So we know how to find sides, then we'll do find angles, then you do the exercise, you do hard questions only because it's quite easy. Revision of last year's work. Alright, any question? Alright, good. Next one, let's find unknown angles. Okay, angles are easier to do. You don't have to worry about numerator or denominator because two sides are always given when we find the angle. So to find the first question is hypotenuse or opposite, so that must be sine. So write sine theta equal to opposite over adjacent, opposite over hypotenuse. Now to find angle, you have to learn this special button. You have to do the sine inverse. Sine inverse of 3.8 over 5.2. So how do you read this? You don't say sine to the power -1. It's read as sine inverse. Now how do I get sine inverse on the calculator? If you see there's a sine inverse on the shift button, the yellow symbol, so if you press shift sine, it gives you that button there, and then press 3.8 over 5.2, like this. That's equal. Now the question asks you to find the angle to the nearest minute. This is in degrees, so to get minute, press this button, like that. 46 degrees, 37 minutes. Okay, so 46 degrees, 57 minutes. Let me see, 57. Okay, any questions? So it's pretty easy to do. So let me briefly write down the calculator button. So to do that, you have to do shift sine on your calculator. Okay, shift sine to get the answer. To get it in nearest minute, just press this button. Degree, okay? Alright, good. No further question, we'll try the next one. So we'll do the same thing, we'll label the sides as adjacent and hypotenuse. This time we'll use cos. So write cos angle equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, like that. And then what do? You have to do shift cos, which is cos inverse. Okay, cos inverse calculates the angle given two sides in a right angle triangle. So you press the button shift cos and do 9.6 divided by 30.5. You don't have to use fraction, you can just use divided by. Press equal, press the degree symbol, gives you minutes and degrees, 71 degrees and 39 minutes. Okay, 71 degrees and 39 minutes. Okay, all done. Okay, then we're going to do a application question. Okay, we've got these two questions done. Right, so now the next one you have to draw a diagram. Okay, let's draw a diagram. Let's read the question first. A long and straight line tunnel is sunk into the ground. Its final depth is 120 meters, and the end of the tunnel is 100 meters horizontally from the entrance. Right. Find the angle the tunnel makes with the horizontal. Okay, let's draw a representation of this situation. So you have a tunnel. So you can just draw a line to represent the tunnel. Its final depth is 120 meters. And at the end of the tunnel is 100 meters from the ground entrance. And you have to find the angle the tunnel makes with the horizontal, which we call it theta. Correct to the nearest minute. Okay, let's try to do that. So you just have to set up the equation. We've got the adjacent, we've got the opposite. So tan, so write tan theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse, over adjacent. And to find theta, remember to write tan inverse, okay? Remember, it's called tan inverse. To access tan inverse on the calculator, you press Shift, tan 120 divided by 100 equal, and press that button. Okay, now this time you have to round up. See, this is 39 seconds. There's 60 seconds in a minute. This is more than half, isn't it? So whenever it's 30 seconds or more, you have to add 1. So let's write down the full display first. So you get 50 degrees, 50 degrees, 11:39, 11 minutes 39.9794 seconds. But you round to the nearest minute. So therefore you go 50 degrees. Because this is 30 or more, it becomes 12 minutes. Okay? Because it's 30 or more. Okay, all of these are revision from last year's work, so you could have done it by yourself. But the last part is something new. You have to pay full attention. This is new, okay? But it's related to the last topic, chapter 5, number plane. Okay, so we can actually find the angle a line makes with the x-axis. So when we draw a line, we can find the angle. And there's a simple formula to calculate the angle. And the formula is this: tan theta equals to the gradient. And why is that so? Because the gradient is rise over run. But what's rise over run? In a right angle triangle, if you call this rise, this is run, it's simply opposite over adjacent, isn't it? Which is exactly equals to tan theta. That's why tan of the angle is the gradient. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a question. So in this question, we're going to find the angle the line makes with the x-axis if the gradient is equal to 1. So this line has gradient equal to 1. So if the gradient is 1, how do we find the angle? So we'll just use the formula. Tan theta equal to the gradient. I want to find that angle. Now to find that angle, you just go tan theta equals to 1. And how do you find the angle? You just go Shift tan, which is tan inverse of 1. Do that on a calculator, see what angle it makes with the x-axis. So you go Shift tan 1, it should give you 45 degrees exactly. Which makes sense, isn't it? Because when the gradient is 1, it's exactly 45 degrees, halfway between the 90 degrees. Alright, I think we'll just stop there. And so basically, that's the only new formula you have to remember. So make sure you highlight this. That's an important formula, which is new. Everything else is okay. I guess you could highlight this if you've got nothing to highlight. So there's highlight this. Sine, cos, and tan. What else? I think that's all. Okay. Any question? Otherwise, you'll start the work now. Thank you.